Saints pull off it again. 4 wins in a row. Of course, this definitely been a sort of crazy week for, of course, Louisiana sports fans, with LSU, of course, losing the previous day in a shootout, close one, devastating loss. But, of course, we're happy, though, that we see another win for the Saints. The 4th win in a row. I'm kind of going to lose some stuff, so, oh, jeez. Moving my keys, so you hear my keys. But a 4th win in a row. Another great performance by Tyler Shough. Breakout performances by other players. It was just all great. Of course, we're going to do our usual review for this game. It was kind of a rough first half. First half didn't really go our way. Our defense wasn't really getting anything going. And of course, Tennessee went into the first half with a 20-10 lead. And then, of course, as usual, especially throughout this season, as usual, the Saints find a way to become a team in the second half. I think our first game this season, we scored 30-plus points. I believe so, yeah. Actually, yeah, no, never mind. That was a game that we lost. So, yeah, with first game this season, we scored 30 points. 34-26 was the final score. Of course, talk about more. Of course, welcome everybody to the BrewCrew channel. If you guys are new to the channel or haven't yet here on the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos, as of course I do Saints football content like this, and also content with LSU. I do want to say, though, with LSU, I did not do a review video for the bowl game, but I do want to say I will have a sort of season recap video, though, for the LSU season at some point later on this week, so definitely, hopefully, you guys are looking forward to that, but it will definitely be at some point later this week when I do work on that video, and when that video will probably come out. But first, we're going to focus on the Saints. Saints get the win, 4th win in a row. Amazing, amazing game. Of course, first half didn't go so well. First half, we see Tennessee 6-0 at the end, and then we see camward 2 touchdown passes. He had a pretty good game. 2 touchdown passes, 251 on through the air. Tony Pollard did great as well. Had a pretty good game, 18 rushes, 85 yards, and 85 yards. But of course, the only touchdown that came in the first half was that amazing strip sack by Chase Young, who of course brought it all the way for a touchdown to make it 10-13. Sadly, they went down the field and scored, but of course, second half magic as usual, and what a game. Second half magic would go down the field. Amazing performances by everybody on the offense. Defense finally stepped up. Final game, of course, 34-26. Let's, of course, go through everybody. First, of course, we got to talk about Tyler Shough. He got sacked a couple times, but only 2 times, though. That is definitely sort of a high, though, with this offense. With, of course, this offense. Again, let's talk about him. He was 22 of 27, 333 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, only sacked twice. An amazing QB rating of 142.7, which I believe is definitely good. But another amazing game, another 2 touchdown performance. I believe with this 2 touchdowns, that gets him to 10 touchdowns on the year, I believe. On the year, I believe. Let me check. I believe that does. No, it doesn't, because he came in with 7 touchdowns, but that gets him to 9, close to 10 touchdowns. 81 completion percentage. That is definitely really great. And this, of course, with this and also the Panthers losing and only scoring 10 points, this definitely shows that Tyler Shough could be in the conversation to be the '1 guy for Rookie of the Year. That, of course, will be a future thing that I will talk about probably at some point later on this week. I'll definitely talk about that. But other players did amazing in this game. First on the ground, of course, nobody was really great on the ground. But then the second half came along, and Audric Estime, who, of course, him and Evan Hall was going to get more playing time because, of course, no Devin Neal, no Alvin Kamara. Estime balled out in this game. 14 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown, which was a 32-yard touchdown, an amazing touchdown run. He balled out when we needed him to. He had an amazing game. In a game, of course, where right now we're at the point of the season where running backs is definitely not looking so good, Estime pulled out something that, he can definitely be a valuable player potentially for our next game, depending on what our running back situation will be against the Falcons next week. Receiving was a great game by two receivers specifically. First, I want to talk about Juwan Johnson. He has been one of the most underrated players right now on the season. Of course, I believe on the season he only has 3 touchdowns, but he has been so amazing. So underrated. In this game alone, 4 receptions, 95 yards, and averaged 23.8 yards per catch, which was the most on the teams. He caught all 4 catches, which he was targeted all 4 times. He caught all 4 of them. He was definitely one of the big main targets for, of course, for Tyler Shough. Amazing game from him. But what about another amazing game from Chris Olave? 8 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Of course, a long of 60-yard reception. Was like a 63-yard reception. Another amazing game from Chris Olave, reaching over 100 receptions. I still do not know how this man was snubbed out of being in the Pro Bowl, or at least appearing in the Pro Bowl. I'm definitely upset about that. Maybe he'll be an alternate or something like that if something happens with how the playoffs go. So maybe he'll be an alternate, but we'll see. Because that, of course, sometimes happens as well. That is, of course, another thing I just don't understand with how great some of these players are on this team, especially on the defensive side, how some of these players did not make it to a Pro Bowl. So another sad year in a row that a player does not make the Pro Bowl as a Saints player, I should say. But honestly, it was a great defensive showing. Of course, Chase Young, a forced strip sack fumble, return for a touchdown. He had 4 total tackles, 1 half sack, tackle for loss, and had 2 QB hits, and of course the forced fumble touchdown. An amazing game from him. Demario Davis, 6 tackles, half a sack as well, and 1 QB hit. Alontae Taylor was by far the best defensive player. 9 total tackles, 4 pass deflections, pass defendeds, 4 PDs, and a QB hit. 4 PDs, 2 of them, almost all of them, he could have had an interception, but still an amazing game. He was there to break up those passes. A really great game. Great game by Kool-Aid as well. 6 total tackles. He also had 2 pass deflections as well, 2 pass breakups or pass deflections or whatever you want to say. So a great game by him. Jonah Williams actually broke out in this game. He had 1 of the 4 sacks in this game, 3 tackles, also had a tackle for loss and a QB hit as well. Jonathan Bullard had 2 tackles for loss, so a pretty good game from him. Justin Reed also had a tackle for loss as well. So definitely overall a really, really well-rounded game by our defense. Cam Jordan, 5 total tackles, a sack, and also a tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits from him. Of course, he was a part of that final sort of sack/QB hit at the end of the game there, stopping that Hail Mary. Sadly, no interceptions. Again, like I said before, there was multiple opportunities, especially by Alontae Taylor. Almost had a game-sealing interception by Kool-Aid, but of course he sadly went out of bounds. But still, really great, really great game. This definitely was a really great game. Of course, our kicker, Charlie Smith, at first kind of got off to a rough start. He missed 1, but then he made 2 50-plus yarders, first from 56, and then a career-long 57-yard field goal, total of 10 points. That, of course, was in the third quarter, I believe, is when he hit the 57-yarder. And so, yeah, again, a well-rounded team. And then again, this team just, of course, as usual, they broke out in the second half. It's just, of course, always the question is, like, they need to not just wait until the second half to finally be a team, especially on the defense. But our defense finally woke up. They stepped up. Offense sort of finally did as well in the second half. Defensively, mostly, I would say the pass defense. We're good on stopping the run a little bit and getting pressure on camward. It was just our pass defense. We allowed too many big catches, too many big throws, and too many big plays during the first half, so definitely changed that up. Of course, again, multiple times we could have had an interception. Multiple sacks, of course. Chase Young, still unbelievable. Him and even Cam Jordan, snubbed out of the Pro Bowl, like especially for Chase Young. The amount of games he has played. Again, he missed the first 5 games of the season, and he's been one of our best defensive players on the defensive line. Of course, this was a defensive line that doesn't have Brian Brzee because he's out with it. He was out with a knee injury. But still, this was an amazing game. Offense produced amazing numbers. Chris Olave proves, I mean, with this other performance, proves why. Oh, I forgot to mention this other receiver, Kevin Austin, had 4 catches, 52 yards, and had the other touchdown. I forgot to talk about him. Of course, Dante Pettis, there was the little scare there, though, with Dante Pettis when he had that fumble into the end zone. They were up 26-20, but the defense got a big-time 4-and-out stop to get us the ball back and us driving down the field to get the touchdown. So, definitely a little scare there at that point, but we got the job done. And so, yeah, so I think that's kind of everything really for this game. Of course, a lot of stuff that we'll definitely still talk about. Most importantly, definitely Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough, potentially, in my opinion, with this performance here, I potentially could see him going at the top of the Rookie of the Year watch. I surely see that. And this was his back-to-back games with 300-plus passing yards. And now with 2 touchdowns in this game and back-to-back games with no interceptions, this has definitely been some really great performance this year. I don't think he's thrown an interception since the game against Tampa. When he had 2 rushing touchdowns. So he is proving to be really, really great with this team, and is definitely proving, in my opinion, and I hope into a lot of fans' eyes as well, proving that he could be the future of this franchise. Like, he is the franchise guy for hopefully the next few years, or even for next year as well. So yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Of course, again, try to talk more about Tyler Shough. There's, of course, a lot more to talk about it, and some other stuff as well. That will probably be sort of my next future Saints video for this week, for this upcoming week as well. Of course, one more game left on the road in Atlanta. The Falcons, who I believe do play today, but I don't know when. When and who? Oh, they have a Sunday night game against the Rams. So definitely keeping my eye on that one. We'll see if they end up pulling off an upset or have the same record as us. So we'll see then. We are still, I mean, let's look at it now. Atlanta is still favored to win that game, of course, but we'll look more at it when we'll see. Of course, we don't know if this will be a Saturday game or a Sunday game, because it still says it's either the 3rd or the 4th. So we don't know when it will be. But anyway, again, it's definitely going to end it here. I don't know what I'm blanking out for. Definitely going to end it here. Also, for the LSU recap video, season recap video will also be this week as well. At some point, whenever I can try to get it out, when I will get it recorded and get it out as well. So definitely, hopefully, you guys are looking forward to that. If you guys made it all the way to this video, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy watching this video, as always, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and also that notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. And with all that out of the way, hope you guys have a happy New Year. Of course, New Year is coming up in a couple days this week. So I hope you guys have a happy New Year, happy holidays, and everything else. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.